Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be showing you my favorite polishes from Cracked Polish for their upcoming Memorial Day sale. If you don't know, Cracked Polish is an indie brand based in the Pacific Northwest. I've shared a number of her collections on my channel already, so if you have watched those videos, you already know what some of my favorites are going to be. But Cracked Polish was super kind enough to sponsor today's video, which is letting me talk about all of my favorites in one place. The Memorial Day sale is going to be taking place from May 24th through the 27th, and I'll save some more details for the end of the video. For now, let me just show you my favorites. So we're not exactly going in any particular order, but I do want to start with my top favorite Cracked polish. This one is called Feed Me Treats from the Romanticize Your Life collection. I feel like it should be no surprise that I am including this one first because it is a super dainty baby pink crelly base that is filled with this super cute blue shimmer. I'm sure you already know how much of a fan I am of these glowy shimmers, especially when they're blue in a pink base. And this one is easily one of my top favorites in my whole collection. It just gives me all the ethereal, fairy, princess kind of vibes, so if you like that, you're gonna love this polish. This one has a bit of a sheer formula though, so you are gonna see some nail line after 3 coats. The next top favorite that I have is Candy Painted, which is actually from the same Romanticize Your Life collection. This one is just a juicy hot pink shade that again is filled with this shimmer that is just so glowy and bright. As you can see, this one is definitely very pigmented. It is a little bit sheer on the first coat and you still get a hint of nail line on 2 coats, but overall it has a lot more coverage than the previous shade because of how dark this is. So if you're a fan of shimmery hot pinks, I feel like this is such a must-have. Another favorite is actually from the very first collection. This is called Amethyst Dart Frog, and it is a sheer purple filled with a blue shimmer. I would say it's almost like the purple version of Feed Me Treats, but I think that this one is a bit more sheer. As you can see on the very first coat, it almost looks like it could just be a topper, but that purple base really does start to build up on 2 coats and then especially after 3. And while this definitely is on the very sheer side, I feel like the shimmer just glows so much and really gives it that almost iridescent kind of quality. I just love it so much, and it looks especially great in low lighting. My next pick is Banana Powder, which is from the pretty recent makeup collection, which was the collection of pastels. I generally loved all of the polishes from that collection, but if I had to narrow it down to just one, I think I would pick this one, mainly because pastel yellows can be so tricky to formulate, and this one has such an incredible formula. It is so full coverage and creamy, and such a beautiful color too, but really you can't go wrong with anything from the makeup collection. And speaking of the makeup collection, I also had to include Mascara Flakes, which is the black flake topper that came in that collection. I know black flakies are so controversial, some people absolutely hate them, but if you are one of the few people who actually do like them, I feel like this is the best one. It just has the perfect size and density of those flakies. I love it so much. The next shade I have is Donut Spunk, and this was also from the very first collection along with Amethyst Dart Frog. This one is like a white, crelly, almost pearly sort of polish. It kind of has this silvery white shimmer that is meant to give like a glazed donut sort of effect. And while I normally don't love pearl finishes, I love these almost pearly finishes from Cracked Polish because they're just a lot softer and more subtle, but still very pretty and elegant, and this beautiful white is just no exception. I think it looks pretty good here on 2 coats, but I did decide to build it up in 3 just to even it out a little bit more and give some more coverage. In a similar vein, I had to include Cinnamon Sugar Crumb from the somewhat recent Donut Shop collection. That was basically expanding on Donut Spunk, so it had some more neutrals and a pink and a gray, all in that same kind of glazed donut effect, and I especially loved the neutrals from this set, but this one is my top favorite. I just feel like it's so flattering against my skin tone. It's just one of those elevated neutrals that I really enjoy. And again, because this one is a little bit of a pearly finish, you want to be careful with your brush strokes to make them as straight as possible. Next up, I have Rocky Mountain Iris, which is one of the most recent cracked polishes added to my collection. It'll be launching on Friday, the same day that the sale starts, but I had to include this one because I just absolutely love these soft, almost grayed out lavenders. Here on its own, you can barely tell that it's even grayed out, but when you compare it to other shades, you can definitely see how dusty it is. But we're not doing that right now. We're letting the shade have its moment, and it is so beautiful. Even though this has a little bit of a crelly formula, it built up perfectly in just 2 coats. Next, I have pink Hair Strands, which I would call the little cousin of Amethyst Dart Frog. I feel like they just have the same kind of vibe, but this one is a little bit lighter. It doesn't quite have that same purple base. I don't even know what color the base is. It almost has this like silvery, icy color, and the shimmers shift from pink to purple, and it is just so pretty. Similar to Amethyst Dart Frog, I feel like this one can easily be worn as a topper in 1 coat, which I will be showing at the end. Or you can build it up on its own in 2 or 3 coats as seen here for this really sheer, ethereal, almost cellophane kind of look. You definitely do get the most nail line with this one though. And then here it is in 1 coat over Rocky Mountain Iris, which I just shared. That one looks even more gray with this as a topper, but the pink and purple shimmer still stands out beautifully. But it's gonna pop even more against a darker base, so I have it here layered over Drizzle, which is also gonna be launching on Friday. This is probably my favorite combination. For another actual topper though, I do have Truly Outrageous, which is this super delicate gold holographic micro glitter. I feel like you always see this kind of finish of a tiny hollow micro glitter but in a silver color, and I actually didn't really have one quite like this in gold, and I love it so much. I feel like it just adds this beautiful touch of elegance. It looks great over a sheer neutral color, or you can layer this over a darker shade for a little extra pop. Next up, I have the Shag, and this is one of my favorite greens to be added to my collection. It is just so beautiful, so incredibly unique. I think this is described as a soft hunter green with a golden shimmer. I feel like there is a little bit of a blue undertone to it, but I'm not quite sure what other color to describe it as. But it is just so incredibly stunning. I feel like this is another one of the polishes that kind of teeters on being an almost pearlescent shade. As you saw with the first and second coat there, it's a little bit brushstrokey, so you do want to be careful with your application to try to get them as smooth as possible, but the color is absolutely worth it, and it builds up so beautifully in 2 or 3 coats. And the last shade that I have is Situationship, which is also from the Romanticize Your Life collection, but it has the total opposite vibes of candy painted and feed me treats. But as a Libra who craves balance, I just need both. I absolutely love deep oxblood burgundy reds like this though. It's just so vampy and gives you total sultry vixen vibes. The formula on this is really nice. It builds up so beautifully, and I think it definitely is passable on 2 coats. I did notice some light spots, especially near the side of my nail, so I did end up doing a 3rd coat to just even everything out and also really deepen the color, which I just love because it's already so dark and sexy. And the shimmer absolutely glows in indirect light. It is so stunning. And here is the collage of my favorite cracked polishes. I know it might not be the most cohesive, but I don't know, I just have so many different kinds of favorites from this brand. There should be no surprise that the majority of them are in the pink and purple kind of range, but I still really enjoy some other ones from the other finishes and colors. There's just such a solid range to choose from. So that wraps up my favorite cracked polishes. As always, I can't wait to hear what you think of my favorites, and if you have any of these shades in your collection already, or if they've been in your wish list. I'm sure if you've seen them on social media, they recently changed their caps to be the all black matte ones. So they had a huge blowout sale to kind of clear out the old caps, and unfortunately they ended up selling out pretty fast. I think it's super exciting that she is gonna have the website I fully stocked up and have another sale so you can pick these up at a discount. Like I mentioned before, the sale is going to be from May 24th through the 27th. It's going to be 30% off site-wide, and if you haven't used my code before, it actually will stack, so you can get an additional 10% off by using Yogi10. If you already did use my code, big thank you first of all, but you can also still support me and my channel by shopping through my affiliate link, which is going to be in the description box. As always, a big thank you for all of your support, and again, a big thank you to Cracked Polish for sponsoring today's video. I'd love to know what polishes are in your wish list, or which ones you're definitely going to be picking up this coming weekend, or just leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!